Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what today is? Monday morning chats with Sack, and Sack is me. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. Honestly, just all last week was just great. I had a really great week from beginning to the end. Like, it was just so amazing. So I'm trying to get off this high right now, but I really don't want to come down from this high. Like, it was a great weekend, great week. I hope that you guys, if you do celebrate Resurrection Day, hope that you guys are able to celebrate that. I did, and I look forward to this week. And so for last week, I've been in deep thought as to what I wanted to talk about today. And I had a great conversation with my niece about just life and just being very transparent. I'm a big believer of, sharing your story because you never know. Your story can set someone free, or someone can live vicariously through some of the mistakes that you've made. So when it comes to my nieces and nephews and my younger cousins, I'm not afraid to tell them, hey, I messed up on some things and I want you to do better than me. And so I just thought about college. I just thought about college. And if you do follow my page and follow my story, if I had to title this, it would be I Was Made for This. I was made for this. Now, in this message for those kids that live in the inner city, whether you live in Chicago, LA, Philadelphia, my hometown, Camden, New Jersey, where I was born at, New York, if you're from Atlanta, if you're from New Orleans, if you're from DC, I mean, if you live in the inner city, this message is for you. So I remember in college, my sophomore year, I I worked for this orientation company from my school. It was called OWLS. It was known as Orientation Workshop Leaders. And so pretty much what we did was we facilitated orientation. So you were a incoming freshman or a transfer freshman, we helped with the whole setup for orientation. So you got a chance to see myself or one of my colleagues. We had like a colorful shirt on. We had everything planned for that week for orientation. That way, orientation is pretty much to help you get acclimated to college and for you to ask upperclassmen, like, what is it like to be a college student? So I was happy to do that. It was a great feeling for me. But I thought about all the great feelings, like, telling students, like, hey, take this professor, or hey, make sure you study, or hey, go to the library, or hey, don't forget to ask for a tutor if you need that. But besides all of that, I remember going into the auditorium where it was pretty much professors telling them, hey, these are the things that you have to do. If you don't do this, hey, you can get kicked out of school. But if I look across the auditorium and I see different students, white, black, Hispanic, Asian. But I remember seeing some of the students, irrespective of their race, where they were okay. Their parents was there with them for orientation, and they were okay. They were okay, meaning that if financial aid didn't go through, their parents would still pay. They'll be okay. They'll be okay. Money wasn't an issue. If they needed to purchase books and maybe they were a science major and their books can easily range from $400 to $800. At the orientation, their parents would take them to the bookstore and get the books. The money wasn't an issue. That'll be okay. And then there were some students where all they had to do was just show up for class. It didn't matter their GPA. As long as they graduate, there was a job waiting for them at the end of graduation. They were okay. But if you look across the auditorium, you see the students where they're just not sure. They're happy to be here. Maybe they were one of the first in their family to go to college. And so they just so excited to just get away. And maybe their household was just full of negativity. It was just no hope. And maybe they was just on the borderline of not getting into college. But thank God for summer programs. And thank God for someone giving them a chance and say, hey, I can't define you based on the standardized test. You're here. And maybe they didn't have anybody in college in their family. They're the first ones. And so there's no one telling them, hey, these are the benefits of going to college. They just heard, hey, if you graduate high school, that's good enough. So going to college was a big deal for them. But in the grand scheme of things, if financial aid doesn't go through, they may have to go back to that negative environment, or that environment where it's just hopelessness. There's no hope there. And when they're there in their house or whoever they live with, they just feel like there's nothing they can do. They can't be accomplished. It can't be successful because of what they see in front of them. And it's just idea of, hey, if I look at my household and I see there's no hope, and I see there's people there that are just working, there's no goals, there's no ambitions, hey, I may just be like them. And then these students may say, hey, I'm happy to be here, but I know books, it's going to cost so much. And I honestly, I don't have money. Granted, one of my family members took me here to orientation, but they're not sitting right next to me. So I may not understand everything that they're saying in orientation. I'm just here. Or maybe you were that student where you know you want to become somebody. You just don't know what. Or maybe you do. Maybe you know exactly what you want to be. But do you feel like you can do it? Do you feel like you have all the tools and the skills to become exactly what you pray for? For those students, I'm here to tell you that you was made for this. You know, when a child is born, they can't pick and choose their parents, nor can they pick and choose their living environment. They can't choose that. But once they become of age, they can make a conscious decision to say, hey, I want to be better. I want better for myself. Yeah, I was exposed to X, Y, and Z, but now I can make the decision to say, hey, I want better for myself. And I don't know how I'm going to actually get that, but I know I want better. And I'm here to tell you, you can. You can. For the kids that everything was just mapped out for them, at the age of one day, being one day old, maybe they had a trust fund. And those kids, they know they were going to be okay. They know that. If they decided not to go to college, maybe some of them was in a happy, positive environment where everything was okay. They can do something else. But I'm talking to the kids, they feel like there's no hope. They go home, there's nothing there. They open the fridge, there's no food. They open the cabinets, there's no food there. You can't talk to your parents about education because maybe they didn't finish school. Or you can't talk to them about getting good jobs because maybe they're laid off. Or maybe they don't have a job. I'm talking to you. And I'm here to tell you that you could do anything you put your mind to. And sometime, not all times, but most times and sometimes, when you find yourself in a dark place, and maybe that dark place is at home, and you see things on TV and say, hey, I want that. But then you look at your environment and say, hey, is it even possible? I'm here to tell you, you were made for that. You can do that. If you see that doctor on TV, if you see that lawyer on TV, if you see that actress or actor on TV, if you see that basketball player on TV, if you see that football player on TV, if you see that surgeon on TV, if you see that politician on TV, I'm here to tell you, you was made for that. You can do that. You can actually become what you see. And yes, I understand maybe in your household, maybe there's no positive enforcement saying that, hey, you could do anything you put your mind to. But if you listen to me, I'm here to tell you that you can. Why? How do I know it's possible? Because I was that kid. I remember the times where I didn't have anything. And I thank God that my grandparents Prayers were answered because God covered me throughout my life. I'm here to tell you, you were made for that. Think about all the things that you want in your life. Maybe you want to move out of the state that you're from. Maybe you want to move far away. I'm here to tell you, you can do that. Yeah, it's going to be scary. Yeah, you're not familiar with things. I can tell you that you got it. I remember moving from Philadelphia to Florida, and I can tell you that it was a total culture shock for me. I was so worried about how people sound in their dialect that I missed the bigger picture of being there. And yeah, I didn't like it because my family wasn't there. I'm so used to hanging out with my cousins. But while I was there, I didn't realize that I was getting the best education ever in Philadelphia. The education that Philadelphia offered me had nothing on the education that Santa Rosa County, Florida has offered me for 2 years. And for that, I am forever grateful. Yes, when I was there, I did not care. I was boy crazy. I wanted to see the cute boys. I was feeling myself. I just thought I was cute and all those things. And yeah, I did good in school and all that stuff. But the bigger picture was my mother moved me out of Philadelphia at a great time. And so while I was in Florida, instead of me really focusing on the reason why she left, I was mad at her for taking me out of Philadelphia. Now, as an adult, I can say, hey, I'm grateful that I moved out of Philadelphia at the right time and I got the education. So maybe for you, maybe your parents or maybe your mother or father, whoever you live with, maybe they decided to take a change and say, hey, I want to get you out of the inner city. I want better for you. And I'm going to tell you, you may not like it. You may say, hey, I can't believe you're taking me out of my home place and my friends and all that. But one day you're going to wake up and say, thank you. Thank you so much. Anything that you want, you can do that. You can have it. And sometimes, based on your circumstances, it may seem that it's impossible. But I'm here to tell you, you are possible. You are capable of great things. Here's an affirmation I want you to say. I will become an or a, depending on what the thing is, and you just fill in the blank. So let's say for me, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I will become a lawyer. That's the first sentence. The second sentence will say, it may be hard, but I was made for this. So anytime you feel like you want to give up on your dreams, I want you to say that affirmation. I will become whatever that thing may be. The second sentence, it may be hard, but I was made for this. You were made for this. Yeah, things may not look good right now, but you were made for this. Yeah, you may not see the bigger picture, but you were made for this. Yeah, you may not have a lot of money, but you were made for this. And let me tell you, don't ever let money get in the way of you accomplishing your dreams. There's grants out there, there's scholarships out there, there's loans out there. And sometimes people will say, well, the reason why I didn't go to college because I have to pay back loans and I don't want that. Let me tell you this. A loan is an investment. If you're able to get a loan to go to school, make that an incentive to say, hey, if I'm going to take out money to go to school, I'm going to graduate. It doesn't make sense to take out all this money for school, or whatever type of school it is, for you to have nothing to show. Now, I have loans. They give me snapshots all the time saying, hey, Miss Tillman, this is what you owe. And yeah, it could be a little discouraging, but hey, I did exactly what I said I wanted to do, irrespective of the circumstances, irrespective of the things that were just thrown at me. I made it happen. But I'm here to tell you that you're able to make it happen too. And you're able to do it 10 times better than me. You were made for this. You got this. So don't ever get discouraged. Yeah, things may not look as easy, but you were made for this. You got it. Great things take time. And the things that you really want in life, it may not come easy. But I'm here to tell you, you were made for this. So if you're that child in the inner city and you're looking around and saying, hey, I have no one here to help me, or I don't know what I'm going to do next. Hey, I don't have anybody that's able to write me a check for school. Hey, I don't have anybody to talk to about success and what it means to be successful, because nobody around me is successful. I'm here to tell you, you are made for this. And if you don't have anybody in your family or in your circle, I'm here to tell you that God will place people in your life to help you. Just be open to it. I hope that this message blesses you, and I hope and pray that if you listen to me, that you were made for this. This is for the kids that feel like all hope is lost. You were made for this. You could picture whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. You were made for this. Whatever you want, it's on the opposite side of fear. It's on the opposite side of doubt. You were made for this. I don't care what city you're from. You were made for this. I don't care what environment you live in. You were made for this. So whatever you want in your life, hey, you can do this. You can do this. If you are a high school student, you are interested in going to college, find your guidance counselor. Talk to them. Ask them about scholarships. Ask them about grants. Ask them about loans. Don't never make them an excuse as to why you can't. I can tell you all the reasons why you can. You were made for this. I hope that your Monday is great. I hope that your Tuesday is phenomenal. I hope that your Wednesday is spectacular. I hope that your Thursday is amazing. I hope that your Friday is extraordinary. I hope that your weekends are lit. And I hope and pray that you just never give up on yourself. I hope and pray that you never forget how amazing you are. You are dope. You are capable of great things. Never let somebody tell you that you are not. You were made for this. Take care, guys. And again, have a happy, happy Monday. Bye, guys.